context clues and background knowledge?
Okay, so background on this lesson, it's not a real lesson. It's an introductory to a group project that I'd have them do with a novel of their choice in their reading level. So it's about 4th grade level, which is what this book is actually at the last time I looked. So it's about 4th grade level. And the attention signal is just going to be class, class. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so class, class?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Erica, can you move to this house for today? Oh yeah, you guys are broken up into different houses, just to let you know. Like that's what the reading groups are called. They're called houses. Okay, so the question is, what do you know about context clues and how can you use them as character references? Like how do you place that a character has brown hair when they say she has chestnut hair? What makes you think that? What do you know? Okay? So you'll have 5 seconds to think, and then you'll have 30 seconds to discuss within your houses. Pairs on this side with the group of 2, you guys are going to get 15 seconds apiece. Okay? So go ahead and start thinking about that, how you use context clues and inferences. Okay, and the person with the lightest shirt is going to go first. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, that person stop, and next person begin. I don't like that sound. Okay, if you haven't already switched, switch. Oh, okay. Way to go, kids. I'm proud of you. All right, stop. Class, class?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what did we come up with? Vic, you're looking pretty promising today.
We just said using like the background knowledge, like when you said about the hair color, like you would know whatever color they used or whatever object they used, and be like, oh, I guess it's brown, so in her hair is like that.
Yeah, okay. Did anyone come up with anything else? Like how you would read something and infer something else? Mallory?
The sensei pointed out that if you come across a word you don't know, you use the words surrounding it to help you come up with what it is.
Yeah, so you try to place it together. Was there anything else from you guys?
Yeah, Mike stated something about being able to distinguish what's going on in the environment or something like that just by some of the words used. So, if you know like the environment, like he stated like a tree was full bloom, well, you know what time of year it is or whatever.
Leaves are green, so it's like probably not going to be wet time.
It just allows you that extra context without being able to see it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So what we're going to do is you guys all have the sheet of paper in front of you, right? So what you guys are going to do, we're going to read a passage out of this together. I want you to flip it over for right now. And you guys are going to write down, Erica, do you want to be my helper?
Sure.
Okay. So we're going to read a passage from the book together. And when you guys find something that gives you a hint as to what a character could look like, I want you to raise your hand. And I'll stop reading so that Erica can write it on the board. It's going to be easiest if you guys try to line up together so you can all see the book. That group is going to have the easiest time with it. So what you're going to go to page, I have a bookmarked. It's the very first page. It's the first chapter. You're using that at a different time. It's The Boy Who Lived. It's the very first part. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you're there, so I know that everyone's there. Okay. Okay, So I'm going to read. You guys follow along. When you find a clue, raise your hand. Okay? Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. Dursley was director of a firm called Grunnings, which made drills. He was a big, beefy man with hardly any neck, although he did have a very large mustache. Marie?
I think that was a clue, those were clues to say that he's large.
Like, he's kind of bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to write the...
Is there a specific word?
Yeah, it says big, beefy man. That's how we're describing him today. What else was said in that sentence? There is something on his face.
He had a very large mustache.
Yeah, he's got a big ol', like, kind of handlebar. That's how I imagine it, mustache. Okay. So, Mrs. Dursley was thin and blonde and had nearly twice the usual amount of neck, which came in very useful as she spent so much of her time craning over garden fences spying on the neighbors. Mallory?
He was thin and blonde and had nearly twice the usual amount of neck.
Yeah, so thin and blonde. And from having twice the usual amount, it kind of says she's really thin, right? That's what we think. What? Yeah. Yeah, she like has a really long, like she's real skinny. She's not like her husband. Okay, so then the Dursleys had a small son called Dudley, and in their opinions, there was no finer boy. There's not really much on Dudley, but we know he's a little baby right now, right? Okay, so everyone can go back to your seats. On the back of the paper that you have, not on the front side yet, thank you, Erica. What you're going to do is I want you to use those descriptions, and I want you to draw how you picture them. Oh yeah, there are crowns, so you can get creative. I like it. Other side. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
It's okay. I have extras. You'll use those in a minute. Okay, if you're done, I want you to put your finger on top of your nose so that I know who's done and who's not done and who's coloring. Yeah, you guys get some very colorful creatures.
Oh, look at my crayons are all purple.
It's okay, you can have a purple scene. Okay, so even if you're not done, I want you to put your pencils down. You can work on it later. Alex, can you hold up that book and show them how the illustrator pictured them? Oh, be careful. Okay, so can you tell from that description which one is which? Okay, so now there should be, you guys are going to work in your houses where the characters are. Each of you have a little Hogwarts character in the book. And their hair, or someone has an owl, their feather should start at the paragraph I want you to read. I want you to read as much as you can as a group. You can read aloud. You can work like independently. Just read together. You're going to read for 2 minutes and write down context clues from that, okay? You can write the descriptions on the back, but then on the front, what you're going to do is once the 2 minutes are up, I'll explain some more. The character should be... Oh, you have Harry. Yeah. Yeah. So right where their hair or their feet start is where you guys are going to start reading, okay? Okay, so you're trying to describe the Great Hall, you guys. That's where he walks into.
led the first years up here so that they came to a halt in a line
You can use the front of it if you want. It's just rough draft. Okay, rough draft. Got it. Class? Yes. Okay, so now what you're going to do, flip your paper over to the front side. You guys get the new papers. I want you, using the context clues that you guys found, I want you to draw how you imagine the Great Hall. Okay? I'll give you guys about a minute to do it because I want to show you the video that goes along with it. Okay? Ready, go. I like how colorful it is. Yeah. If it helps you to write out the context clues, you can. Yeah. All right, class?
Yes.
Okay, so, Tony, will you hold up your drawing? So that's how Tony and his group imagines the Great Hall. Shahad, will you raise yours up? Okay, so what gave her the clue that it was 4 tables that were long? Did it say directly in the book that there were 4 long ones? Okay, I couldn't remember. Okay, Vicente, what does yours look like? Oh, you include the head table. I like it. Okay, so everyone kind of pictures it differently. There's no set thing, right? Okay, so this is how J.K. Rowling and the producers of the actual movie envisioned what it would look like. I'm sure if you guys have seen the movie, this was kind of in the back of your mind the whole time this was happening. This is Sorcerer's Stone, not Philosopher's. So what do we see in here that tells us it's the same thing from the book? Just by looking at this picture. The 4 long tables, and what's up here that we see? Yeah, he says there were hundreds of candles gleaming in the ceiling or something, doesn't he? Yeah. Yeah, so if you look here, I can't zoom in, But you can see every student has a plate and a goblet. Okay? All right. So, end of lesson. But this would go deeper into a group book project that would be reviewed, and the students would have to, like, use those clues to make a real project. So, yeah.